Have you ever remembered a time in class where you wondered, why am I learning about this? Where am I going to use this? Is this a waste of time? Hi, my name is Lucas Gonzalez, and don't worry if the answer was yes. I too resemble these questions, wondering simply why. Like Pythagoras' theorem, for example, I know at least 90% of us will never use this in the real world. Where's a curriculum specifying one's own needs, one's own uniqueness, and a particular focused approach towards the people? The problem with this alignment I have made upon what education should focus on is when simply asking upon the teacher, when will I use this information? It's a very robotic answer and a controlled answer from the curriculum. Identifying this skill is needed for the next lesson will be tested on. Forcing students to sit a test and memorize certain functions there's no interest towards, no motivation besides failing the subject. Now, failing a subject, let's think of that. Almost every person reminded me that good grades brings amazing characteristics such as intelligence, wealth, and a bright future. Now, the truth is it might for some, but for me, all it has is been questioning, I don't know, and I don't know what I'm going to do when I leave. Ever since in secondary school, I attended Clancy Catholic College. I was not the best in my class by any means. I simply rode my years, moving from year to year, getting similar grades, having fun and not worrying about anything. Till year 11 hit. My grades started to slip in maths and legal studies, completely failing. I remember I used to go to the teacher and parent meetings, and they would provide a rundown on how I needed to do better, and my parents jumped on their boat, even pursuing me to get a tutor. I was so confused about the seriousness of what was happening. I put my head down and studied. I just put my head down and studied. I ended up smashing what I was projected to get on my HSC scores, passing both units. After everything was done, I had no idea what to do after schooling besides one option. Why not accounting? I was good in business studies and I heard money's everything my whole life, and my auntie recommended it to me. I ended up staying with accounting for 2 years at Western Sydney University until realizing one day I had to do this for the rest of my life. No way. I looked for something I enjoyed and was good at, and remembered times where I would gravitate towards the younger crowds instead of the older crowds. It's more enjoyable and was closer towards my heart instead of just money. This has projected me towards today enrolling at ACU to teach primary school education and hopefully provide assistance towards students in becoming the best person they are. For me, after the gracious period of school, I knew nothing about the real world and there was no motivation. I just hated every subject. The problem was my education was never really tailored to me to benefit me. I just learned and went through what everyone else was doing across the state, competing for something that only really helped my school. All it was helping the sociology of my school's reputation. If Clancy had better grades and results, society would want their children to be educated and teacher wages would increase. So are we really there for education? To be clear, the problem I have is not the teachers, although it could be argued for some. The problem is the system that is built for the autocratic state engaging educational aims that primarily benefits the government. The economy and money has taken over the education system in Australia. You see, schooling is free, giving equality in opportunity, but there is a problem with equity. There is a divide in public and private schooling, separating people towards three classes in socioeconomic status. And why? Private schooling tends to have middle to upper class people having higher funding, giving higher results compared to the public schools, making those students better. There is no real measure towards the fundamental aims of education to bring out of someone, to express their new ideas and develop themselves. Instead, it's the results over the growth. A curriculum for all schools shared and then comparing results is wrong and only unmotivating. Instead, schooling needs to be for the people, a liberal democracy. My philosophy takes in ideas from Plato, as I believe Plato's statement on children are to be watched and tested to identify their talents and interests, and then they are to receive an education compatible with their demonstrated natures. But I do ignore that humanity should be given a specific education based on their SES status. I do believe that everyone has something deep inside they love, and this should be pursued regardless of the economic wealth benefits or negatives they have. It's something they love, and students need guidance to be shown ideas around jobs rather than the constant general knowledge. From time to time, some specificality is needed in the curriculum. Yes, literacy, history, and science is key, but so is basic life encounters every person faces, such as learning taxes and job preparation, etc. The harsh reality is some people cannot learn these concepts in their homes and they rely on the schools to help them. Education is very unique and different. It's not learning and mastering memory and putting words on paper. It's learning something for a particular reason, giving meaning to one's true identification. Education is existence, not essence. It's unique, and education must cater to the individual differences. It is dead wrong to expect every child to do exceptionally well with the same test when strengths are some weaknesses for others. These two principles represent my understanding of education. As for primary school, I got my education tailored in the third year. As I can remember, primary was the best and a strong indicator in becoming motivated to teach today. In the third grade, I was selected by a teacher named Miss Holmes to leave classes sometimes and take tests of vocabulary as I had troubles even spelling the word beautiful. She saw that I needed specific learning as I was behind. She helped when I failed and I improved over time. She's a true inspiration to me and towards a pedagogy method I inspire towards. I would like to say I do believe the hope for education in the future is teachers, as teaching is a gift and a bridge for students to become truly educated. Thank you for listening.